Right, well, I'm here picking some more of these sweet pea flowers, which I picked them all last Sunday and they've all come back again on the living willow archway that I put in back in the winter. It's just stunning. Quick tell you about what this video is about. It's almost like all my worlds lined up. Oh, they smell beautiful today, because I planted some sweet corn, suggestion from Gang and Peanut, got them in the ground, showed that video, and then Elaine from Allotment Joy suggested I go and look at this Three Sisters planting, which basically you plant beans around sweet corn and then squash or watermelon underneath, and they all combine together, work together, and it's all just brilliant. So I did a bit of research, trotted off to the garden centre, got some more seed, and basically this video is about what it's all about, the seed I've got, planting them up. So the planting's pretty boring, but the theory and the outcome should be quite interesting. So if you want to have a look at what I'm doing, watch the rest of the video. If you don't, just go and look at Three Sisters planting. It just looks brilliant. So I'm so grateful to everybody that suggests things and suggests ideas, because I'm new to all this and I'm willing to have a go at anything. So massive thank you to Elaine at Allotment Joy for suggesting it. And all right, I'll carry on doing this and you can go and watch the video. Right, so hopefully I've done a nice introduction, picking sweet peas and telling you all about everybody that suggested this and what it's all about. So we'll now go on to planting up the rest of the group. Now, after minutes I tell you of research, climbing French beans are the beans of choice. These are Cobra, they were suggested. Squash, the squash needs to be a summer squash apparently, so I've got hold of some summer squash called Sunburst. There was only 4 seeds in there, but that'll be plenty. And I'm not that keen on squash, to be honest. It's a bit vegetarian-ish, isn't it? Anyway, whatever. But you can substitute it for watermelon. So I've got some Mini Love F1, bred to ripen early. I'm figuring that way it won't go too mental over the bed, because we're going to do similar with the sweet corn. I got sweet corn in here that's growing like crazy, and we got sweet corn outside. The sweet corn outside is about the right height for doing this from what I've read, but this is a bit far on. So instead of planting everything in the ground around it, I'm going to plant this lot in pots, try and bring them on as quick as I can in the polytunnel here, and hopefully they'll get away and they'll be fine. So right, what are we doing first? Compost, just Jack's Magic vermiculite. What I normally do, sieve through 13 mil sieve. The climbing French beans, I've got 24 sweet corn plant, so I've got 15 cell trays, and what I always do is cut out one corner. That way, when you put your module in a tray, you can lift out one corner, makes watering easier. All right, that's a little tip. I haven't got many because I'm new to this, but that's one I've figured out. So they'll be going in there. That's the climbing French beans. The squash and the watermelon I'm going to be putting in 9cm pots, and I can get there again, I can get 8 of those fit into a gravel tray, seed tray. So that works out really well. But that's one thing I'm finding, because I'm new to all this polytunneling. I'm finding keeping things watered is a bit of an issue, and most things, especially small, I need a tray under the bottom to keep the water, or keep the moisture in the soil. So I'm learning all the time, Any suggestions on better watering in the tunnel, stick them in the comments. It's 3 sisters, but you can have a 4th sister, and luckily enough I am growing some of the 4th sister's sunflower. So we're going to stick 3 sunflowers at the end of the rows, both inside and outside. All right, so we're going to have all sorts going on. We're going to have sisters, cousins, everything. Symbiotic wonderland of plants. Right, let's get on and do this. Let's do the watermelon first, because only 4 of them. So now, little squish. Now these are quite, you see that? Black seeds. Now, I don't know if it's just coincidence, but I found the bigger the seeds, the wetter the compost needs to be to get them to germinate. So these will be well watered and then left in a tray with water in the bottom to let it really soak up. So one of them in the middle, a bit more compost over the top, just to squish down, and then into a tray. So 4 of them. Talk amongst yourselves while I do this. I'll speed it up. The other thing I've found, like I say, learning all the time with this polytunnel, is if you've got a bit of a potting tray thing going on, don't leave your compost in it, because it just dries out so quickly in here. So what I do is put the compost back in a bag. I've got a little shovelly thing I use. Put it back in the bag and just leave the bag outside. That way it doesn't dry out and you haven't got to re-moisten it each time. Now the when I sowed the pumpkins, similar sort of shaped seed, they said plant them on the side, so I'm doing the same. I wonder if it'd be worth soaking big seeds. Do you know if it is? Is it worth soaking big seeds? Let me know. Right, squash. What do they look like? Well, there's your squash. Very similar to the pumpkins. So on their side again. Right, 9cm pots for those as well. In, squish. I'm not going to need many of these, am I? Yeah, I don't know. If I did 4 of these, that'll fill up my tray nicely. Let's do 4. Right, that was nice and easy. So we've got our squash, our watermelon. Label that before I forget. I'll go and do that. Right, so that's them labelled up. It'll go and have a good soaking in a minute. And the tray filled with water from the bottom. Beauty. Right, let's get on with the climbing French beans. You've seen all this before. It doesn't really matter, does it? It's sitting everywhere, is it? I found that if you literally fill these and rub the top off, once you press them down, it's all about right. Wee worm. Anybody else? It's funny, isn't it? When you're digging around and you dig up a worm, does anybody else bury it? So like as if to save it, if it's on the surface, like dig a little hole and chuck the worm in. Just me then. Anyway. Deep. Inch deep. Oh, poke a hole in the middle then. Just poke a hole with my finger. There we go, and this compost is nice and wet, but they will be getting a good soaking because in the tunnel here, it properly gets hot. I mean, what have we got here? It's got up to 39 degrees. It is quite a cloudy day. All right, so whack our beans in. I feel like Jack and the Beanstalk. You got the magic beans, man. Right, so that's that lot planted. Got to obviously got to do another tray, but you don't watch me to do that. And we'll stick them in when they come up and see how this Three Sisters system works. Symbiotic wonderland of different plants working to help each other. That's the theory. Yeah, I've got to do up that other tray. We'll be doing it inside, outside. So if you ain't got a tunnel, you can see how that works. If you want to follow along, feel free. Hope you do. Any advice, chuck it at me. This is the first time doing any of this, so I haven't got a clue. It's in no way a how-to. But if you don't try these things, you don't know, do you? Right, I'll go and plant the fourth sister, the sunflower, and next time you see it, we'll be, hopefully this lot will have grown, and we'll be putting them in the ground and seeing how we get on. All right, well, thanks for watching. Thanks for suggesting things. Anybody got any suggestions, throw it at me, because I'm all over trying new things and trying things out. All right, right, that's it. Thanks for watching. Cheers and gone.